Welcome to version 2 of the Kraken base that I've seen people talk about in chat, which is incredible. And seeing all of the different variations that people have put together on EU03 is really weird. But I'm glad that the original base design that I put together has been so useful to so many people. And thank you for sharing your changes and also just saying thank you on that video. Absolutely incredible. But with 1.3 came some changes to how building snapping works and also how certain things go together. So some changes needed to be made. And also with the tower defense, you'll notice there's a bit of a front line in front of the base right now. And the most notable additions or changes is we've got an extra floor and then some. And instead of having the little outcropping alcoves, we've now got a skirt going around the outside of the base. That is for added protection, but also because I was having so many issues with deviations being on the roof, even though they were fixed for a time and now they're back to broken, I wanted to keep my deviations on the ground floor, my non-combat deviations, obviously, and my territory defense. But whichever one isn't my primary, they're all down here. We've also now made this alcove a little bit safer. After the first tower defense, my front garden was the starting line for some of the mobs, which you will find when I go over the full tower defense. That'll be a little bit better explained, but my base was right at the front line, so just in case that alcove gets destroyed and that alcove gets destroyed, I can have a little bit of protection added around the disassembler and the tool bench. The plan is obviously throw doors on there if those walls get taken out. Then we have sectioning off of the main storage. That is, again, extra defenses for that storage. And obviously that back wall has now got the skirt protecting it outside, so it's double layered. We're very close, by the way, to me reverting to my Prismverse build and going full rust and honeycombing, which is essentially what this skirting is for the sections that aren't alcoves. So most of my defense is at the front because that's where the enemies spawn, which is why at the back I've then got the deviation alcoves nice and big. Again, if you were unsure or wanted to stick to the original design, you could put your deviations upstairs. The fun thing I like about this is that it seems to be extremely modular and people can do whatever they want with the basic skeleton. I've got 3 forges here. That is because of all of the different forge perks in Way of Winter. So I've got a hodgepodge of ones that people have placed for me. I've got the efficient refinement and sintering on this one. That one can go away soon because I've finalised the build now. And then we've got I think this is the Chaosium one. No, this is the precision refining and efficient refinement. And then this will be the one with the most perks on and the Chaosium perks. If you can find someone that's got all of the perks, which you probably can with the amount of alts that are around, then that eliminates that particular issue. Kitchen remains unchanged. We're still triggering rate the base with the fridge next to the oven. Sorry. But that remains unchanged. I have put an extra fridge behind the wish machine under the stairs. That is because of the amount of hides that I was farming. I also had a load of meats. So that is the meat locker. And then over here, we've added the barrel in for our acid purification. I haven't got any going at the moment, as we've been dealing with tower things. You can see some little bits of wood left over from where I've just been refining the alcoves and getting the base shipshape and bristle fashion. The other notable change is we haven't got our little step that was more of an aesthetic thing, because when you try and alt and scroll now, it locks. And then you move your mouse and then it drops down. No matter what, I can't seem to get it how I got it in the original before the 1.3 snapping changes. So unfortunately, we've got the bland ground floor now. Then we get up to the very poor first floor. And I go back to saying you can do whatever you want with this. This is obviously where we keep our heater or cooler. And that will affect the temperature below and also above. So when we go up again, we've got our split stairs and again tower defense straight out onto the Gatling. Going up to the second floor, again with the snapping issues and the placement, changes with 1.3. The compact shelf stacking that I had previously didn't work for a lot of people. It was a lot of messing around. So instead, now we've gone half wall and then half wall again. Then we've got our water sorting out up here. And spread the growing area out a little bit. So underneath here, we've got our mushrooms growing. And on the stack, we've got our mushrooms growing as well. That's because they won't receive sunlight 24/7 and they won't take this light. We can still access every planter to pick and plant, so we don't need a grow shroom. And then we can plant out here as well. Full coverage of the sprinkler. It is underutilizing the sprinkler. It's not optimal, but if you just want to grow things, there you go. And again, we've got some splash guarding up top to protect our solar panels. That is, again, a tower defense thing. If you're not dealing with a tower, you can keep it looking pretty and not have these sections going over here. And mostly for aesthetic reasons, I've got pillars going up on each segment, which is made up of small floors, just so that I could do this prettification. In terms of structure defense, this is a bad call. If you want it to look pretty, do it this way. If you want it to be a little bit more secure, so if you get splash damage from something like a Chaos Weaver throwing in here, it won't completely decimate your second floor. Going up further, we've got this triangle here to mantle onto, and then we're on the roof. Originally had Gatling turrets up here, but the reach did not get down to the ground floor. Again, I'll go over that in the territory defense video, but also we have got our zip line across. Again, a massive thank you to everybody that has shared their versions of this base. I'm not going to call it the Kraken base anymore. It just feels weird. But to all of the people that subscribed from that video as well, truly massive thank you. Please do keep sharing your changes, variations, and I'd love to see some of the variations, especially with regards to tower defense, whether you're specialized in growing, all the different things that could be a possibility with this base skeleton. Please do keep sharing them in the Discord, @ing me on Twitter, or just leaving a comment with what you've done on the video. For more Once Human news, tips, tricks, and guides, please be sure to subscribe. And until the next one, my fellow mayflies, beware the fridges.